you go to a child to preach the gospel and they are hungry, they wouldn't listen. So I had to make sure that I focused on their basic needs. I decided to bring them together, hence the name organization, organizing them together for child fellowship. You hear the quiet cries of children that needs attention, and then you realize that there are cycles of poverty that has trapped these children because they do not have access to their basic needs.
My first encounter was when OCF decided to support female prisoners all over Ghana. And then I got to know that the female prisoners normally use cement papers or sand as sanitary pad. The organization was able to supply all prisoners in Ghana, female, with sanitary pads, which was very laudable. It was good initiative. Then the fellowship with them and the preach to them as well. You know, it's part of the reform, to reform people that are in prison.
When I came, the former head briefed me about OCF, that they have donated a lot to the school, 3 computers and about 30 storybooks or so. And I think these things that OCF have given to the school has helped the school in so many ways. Because every day I can see the kids in the library using those books. And then the computer too, it has helped them to get access to, which hitherto they have never ever got access to.
In a village called Advocacy, we had an educational outreach where we had to provide a library for the community because there was no library. It was not grand, but it was profound in impact. And it made me realize the hunger of these kids for education and their resilience. I believed there on that day that transformation doesn't just come from millions, by having millions, but just making your mind and committing to making a positive change.
I recall 2015, 25th of November, there was a fire outbreak at the orphanage. She was the first person to step in to provide relief items for the home. She also built a metal bed for the children. She has supported us in many ways, in diverse ways.
When we are engaging in street feeding, you realize that you might think people don't need it, but when you get to a community and you're doing a street feeding, you see the children that come closer to get food and all that. It's amazing. It's amazing. And that has really left a lot of things with me, to know that some of us are vulnerable to opportunities, and then there are people who don't have, and so we need to make use of it.
One of those downs would be related to finances, but to me, we didn't have money for everything. But one of those downs that I remember till today was helping a child, because there was funds for that, but I didn't have the power to, because I don't give life. It's God that gives life. So we did everything we could, but the child died. And to go back to a boy that we're trying to help again, it's got to do with health. And from his waist down to his legs were numb. So he's always seated on the floor or on a chair. He cannot move. Even when you hit him with a hammer on the leg, he doesn't feel anything. And anytime I see him, I'm just in tears. And he would rather be singing for me and be happy, telling me that he's fine. Why am I worried? He also died. He also died. Anytime we are treating anyone's health issue and the person doesn't make it, that is where I go down.
During the spillage, the 2023 spillage, by then I wasn't an assembly member. I called on OCF that this is what is happening. They came in numbers, they came with foodstuffs, shoes, a lot to support my people.
You know, it's like when God bless you, it's always good to give back to society. So, and there's joy in giving, you know, there's that inner satisfaction of supporting others than having all to yourself. Supporting society to be better is also a good thing to do. So whatever God has given you, it's always good for us to give it back to society, the little that we can.
My motivation has been people around me. Witnessing these children, seeing what they go through, the deficit in childcare. True childcare is not one-dimensional. When we talk about childcare, we as an organization focus on health, feeding, education, and child rights. As a Christian organization, we nurture the faith of the children. So you need to provide food for the child, for their body. You need to provide knowledge for their minds. You need to nurture their faith for their souls. And then you need to secure their safety for their dignity.
In my electoral area, we have just a school, one school in the electoral area, which is Togbi Aho Memorial DA Global School. The school was established some 20 plus years ago without computers. But when they came in with their organization, they were able to give us 3 computers with other library books. I can say on authority that these computers improve the computer literacy in the school as a whole.
So our school has about 200 to 300 students who rely on these 3 desktop computers. So there's always pressure on the computers since all of them have to use the same desktop computers every day.
So if the organization can continue by giving us more computers, because we at least we did about 10, so that each time 10 of the kids can hang on to the computer as the teacher teaches them.
In this particular school, students are there without uniform. They come in their house attire, making them look different among their peers. So if they can support the students with some uniforms, we'll be happy.
Sometimes I feel like giving up because I'm not able to do what I feel is the best or the best I can do for these children. I had an encounter with a child in a village in the Volta region of Ghana where we went to give the children school uniforms, school bags and shoes. And a girl, she came to me and she was like, thank you, I can now go to school without shame. I had to turn back and hold my tears at that moment. It made me realize that it takes just something little to restore the dignity of a child. And little things like that, when taken away from a child, can take away their self-worth during a whole decade. But we have a lot of things that we want to do. But this one long-term vision is to make sure OCF become a sustainable force for systemic change in the lives of vulnerable children in Africa, and where we want to change the narrative of how leaders or people in position or people with voice respond to the needs of children. We would also want to have a center, a resource center where basic education will be provided, food, health care will be provided, mentorship will be provided. We just want to be a voice and speak for children and be there for them.
My words of encouragement to Dr. Gabriela of OCF is that she shouldn't give up. She's doing an amazing job. And then she continue, and God will bless her for all the wonderful things that she's been doing. We'll continue praying for her and give her the necessary support.
I want to use this opportunity to thank Mrs. Gabriela for her support to New Life Nwa Children's Home. I want to use this opportunity to say God richly bless her for imparting knowledge through organizing Bible quizzes for us, not only us, but for other children. OCF, thank you for your support. We love you.
I wish Dr. Gabriela a longer life and a healthy life to continue the project that she has been doing.
So if you want to support a child or support the organization, you can support in any way, not just financially. We would appreciate financial support because it's also a major factor, or it plays a major role. But your time, your effort, your ideas, everything that can be of help. If you want to know more about OCF and our project, you can visit our website to read about us, follow our journey, how we started and how we are going.